First contact. The starship horizon cut through the inky blackness of space, its sleek hull gleaming under the light of an alien sun. Captain Elena Reyes stood on the bridge, her dark eyes fixed on the view screen as it displayed the looming planet below. New Eden, they called it. A world of promise, ripe for exploration and perhaps even colonization. Life signs confirmed, Captain, Lieutenant Zhang announced from his station. Readings indicate a thriving ecosystem, including several large fauna species. Elena nodded, a mix of excitement and apprehension coursing through her. Any signs of intelligent life? Zhang hesitated. Inconclusive, ma'am. There are some anomalous energy readings that could indicate technology, but nothing definitive. Well, Elena said, straightening her uniform, I guess we'll find out soon enough. Prepare the landing party. As the crew bustled about, making final preparations, Dr. Alexei Volkov approached the captain. The exobiologist's eyes sparkled with barely contained enthusiasm. Captain, I'd like to formally request to be part of the landing party. Elena smiled despite herself. Volkov's passion was infectious, even if his eagerness sometimes bordered on recklessness. Granted, Doctor. But remember safety protocols. Our paramount, Alexei finished with a grin. I know. But Captain, just imagine what we might discover down there. The landing shuttle descended through New Eden's atmosphere, buffeted by swirling purple clouds. As they broke through the cloud cover, a landscape of breathtaking beauty revealed itself. Rolling hills covered in iridescent vegetation stretched as far as the eye could see, punctuated by towering spires of crystalline rock. Elena led the way as the landing party disembarked, their boots sinking slightly into the spongy, moss-like ground cover. The air was thick and humid, filled with the calls of unseen creatures. Fan out, Elena ordered. Stay in visual contact and report anything unusual. For hours, they explored the alien landscape, collecting samples and marveling at the strange life forms they encountered. Alexei was in his element, excitedly cataloging each new discovery. It was Lieutenant Maria Cortez who first spotted them. Captain, she called out, her voice tight with tension. Movement at 2 o'clock, definitely bipedal. Elena raised her hand, signaling the team to halt. She peered in the direction Cortez had indicated, her heart racing. There, emerging from a stand of luminescent trees, were 3 tall, slender figures. The aliens were roughly humanoid in shape, but their skin shimmered with a metallic sheen, shifting colors like oil on water. Their large, almond-shaped eyes regarded the humans with unmistakable intelligence, but it was what accompanied them that caused several members of the landing party to gasp and step back. Floating beside each alien was a pulsating, amorphous creature. These beings seemed to be made of living light, constantly shifting and changing shape. Tendrils of energy connected them to their alien hosts, creating an effect that was both beautiful and terrifying. Holy shit, someone whispered. Elena took a deep breath, steeling herself. This was it. First contact, the moment that would define humanity's place in the cosmos. She took a step forward, hands raised in what she hoped was a universal gesture of peace. We come in friendship, she said, knowing her words wouldn't be understood, but hoping her tone would convey her meaning. The aliens conferred among themselves, a musical trilling sound passing between them. Then, to everyone's shock, one of the floating light creatures detached from its host and drifted towards the humans. Several of the landing party stumbled backward, raising their weapons instinctively. Hold your fire, Elena barked, her heart pounding. The creature stopped its advance, pulsing rapidly. It seemed confused. Afraid, Elena couldn't be sure. Then, to everyone's amazement, Alexei stepped forward. His face was alight with wonder as he slowly extended his hand towards the floating being. Doctor, what are you doing? Elena hissed, torn between ordering him to stand down and not wanting to provoke a reaction from the aliens. Alexei didn't take his eyes off the creature. It's okay, he said softly. They're not here to hurt us. Look at them, Captain. They're beautiful. The light creature hesitated for a moment, then gently extended a tendril of energy towards Alexei's outstretched hand. As they made contact, Alexei gasped, his eyes widening. "Oh," he breathed. "Oh, I can feel." The alien hosts chittered excitedly, moving closer. Their own symbiotic companions pulsed in harmony with the one touching Alexei. Elena watched in awe as a look of profound understanding passed over Alexei's face. Tears welled in his eyes as he turned to her, his voice filled with emotion. "Captain," he said, "they're welcoming us home." In that moment, as human and alien stood face to face on an alien world, the future of both species hung in the balance. And it was the courage and open-mindedness of one man that would shape the course of history. The light creature retreated to its host, but the connection had been made. The aliens gestured for the humans to follow them, their movements graceful and inviting. Elena looked at her team, seeing a mix of fear and wonder on their faces. She made her decision. "We accept your invitation," she said, nodding to the aliens. As they began to follow their new hosts, Elena fell into step beside Alexei. "That was either the bravest or the most foolish thing I've ever seen, Doctor," she murmured. Alexei grinned, his eyes still shining with the afterglow of his encounter. "Sometimes, Captain, they're one and the same." As they walked towards the alien settlement, visible now as a collection of spiraling structures on the horizon, Elena couldn't shake the feeling that everything was about to change. Humanity had reached out to the stars, and the stars had reached back. The true adventure was just beginning. Cultural exchange. The alien city was a marvel of organic architecture, with structures that seemed to grow from the very ground itself. Spiraling towers of iridescent material reached towards the purple sky, while pathways of pulsating light connected various buildings. The human team from the horizon followed their alien hosts through this wonderland, their eyes wide with awe. Captain Elena Reyes walked beside the alien she had come to know as Zalfora, the apparent leader of this group. Zalfora's symbiotic companion, a being of swirling light that the humans had started calling a luminous, floated between them, occasionally brushing against Elena with tendrils of warm energy. "It's remarkable," Elena said, more to herself than to Zalfora. "Your entire civilization seems to be in perfect harmony with your environment." Zalfora trilled softly, a sound that Elena had come to associate with agreement. Though they couldn't understand each other's words, a rudimentary form of communication had developed through gestures, tones, and the empathic abilities of the luminous. Dr. Alexei Volkov hurried up to them, his face flushed with excitement. "Captain, you won't believe what I've discovered about their biology. The luminous aren't just companions, they're integral to the aliens' physiology. They act as external organs, processing nutrients, regulating body functions, even aiding in reproduction." Elena raised an eyebrow. "Doctor, remember we're guests here. Try not to get too invasive with your observations." Alexei had the grace to look sheepish. "Of course, Captain. It's just, this is a discovery of a lifetime. The implications for medicine, for our understanding of life itself." Their conversation was interrupted as they arrived at a large, dome-shaped building. Zalfora gestured for them to enter, and as they did, Elena gasped. The interior was a vast chamber, filled with swirling holograms and pulsating light displays. It appeared to be some sort of historical archive or museum. Images of alien worlds, strange creatures, and advanced technologies floated around them. "It's a history of their species," Lieutenant Zhang whispered in awe. "Look, Captain, I think this shows their evolution, their journey to the stars." Elena nodded, her mind racing. The aliens were far more advanced than they had initially thought. This wasn't just first contact with an intelligent species. This was an encounter with a spacefaring civilization that had likely been exploring the galaxy for millennia. Zalfora approached a central console, their luminous companion merging with the technology in a dazzling display of light. Suddenly, the holograms shifted, coalescing into a three-dimensional map of the galaxy. Alexei's eyes widened. Captain, look, that's the Milky Way. And that blinking light, I think that's Earth. Elena felt a chill run down her spine. The aliens knew who they were, where they came from. The question was, what did that mean for humanity? As if sensing her unease, Zolthora made a series of gentle, melodic sounds. Their luminous extended a tendril towards Elena, offering connection. After a moment's hesitation, Elena nodded, allowing the luminous to make contact. Immediately, her mind was flooded with images and emotions. She saw countless worlds, teeming with life. She felt the wonder of discovery, the joy of peaceful contact, the sorrow of lost civilizations, and underlying it all was a sense of profound loneliness, a desire for connection. When the connection broke, Elena stumbled slightly, overwhelmed. Alexei steadied her, concern etched on his face. "Captain, are you all right?" Elena nodded, blinking back tears. "I'm fine, Doctor. I understand now. They've been searching just like us, searching for others in the vastness of space. And now they've found us." Over the next few days, a tentative cultural exchange began. The aliens, whom they learned called themselves the Zolosians, seemed eager to share their knowledge and learn about humanity in return. Alexei worked tirelessly with a team of Zolosian scientists, piecing together a rudimentary translation matrix. Progress was slow, but breakthroughs were made daily. "It's fascinating," Alexei explained to Elena during one of their daily briefings. "Their language isn't just verbal. The luminous play a crucial role, conveying complex concepts through what I can only describe as empathic wavelengths. It's like they're transmitting pure thought." Elena nodded, her own experiences with the luminous still vivid in her mind. "And what have you learned about their society, their beliefs?" Alexei's eyes lit up. "Oh, Captain, it's beautiful. They have a philosophy of universal harmony. They believe that all life is interconnected, that the universe itself is one vast, living organism. Their technology, their art, their very way of life, it's all centered around this idea of cosmic unity." But not everyone on the human team shared Alexei's enthusiasm. Lieutenant Maria Cortez approached Elena one evening, her face tight with concern. "Captain, I think we need to be cautious," she said in a low voice. "We're moving too fast, sharing too much. We know nothing about these aliens' true intentions. For all we know, this could be an elaborate trap." Elena frowned. "What are you suggesting, Lieutenant?" "I'm suggesting that we need to be prepared for any eventuality. We should be fortifying our position, not frolicking with alien life forms." Before Elena could respond, an alarm blared from their communication devices. John's voice crackled through, tight with urgency. "Captain, we're picking up a massive energy surge from the planet's core. Some kind of chain reaction. The Zolosians are in a panic." Elena's heart raced as she sprinted towards the central chamber, Cortez hot on her heels. They burst in to find chaos. Zolosians were rushing about, their luminous pulsing with frantic energy. Holographic displays showed a planet-wide seismic event unfolding. Zolthora approached Elena, their usual grace replaced by urgent, jerky movements. Through a combination of gestures and empathic pulses from their luminous, they conveyed a chilling message. The planet was dying, and they needed humanity's help to save it. Elena looked around at her team, seeing fear, excitement, and determination in their eyes. This was the moment that would define not just this mission, but perhaps the future of human-alien relations. She took a deep breath and stepped forward. "Tell us what you need," she said, meeting Zolthora's alien gaze. "We're here to help." As alarms blared and the ground trembled beneath their feet, humans and Zolosians prepared to face the crisis together. The true test of their newfound alliance was about to begin. Looming threat. The ground shook violently beneath their feet as Captain Elena Reyes and her team raced through the twisting corridors of the Zolosian central complex. Alarms blared, their alien tones adding to the chaos. Holographic displays flickered with ominous red warnings, showing the spread of seismic activity across the planet. Zhang, what's our status? Elena barked into her communicator as they ran. Not good, Captain, Zhang's voice crackled back. The planet's core is becoming increasingly unstable. We're detecting massive energy fluctuations and a rapid rise in tectonic activity. At this rate, we're looking at total planetary collapse within 48 hours. Elena's mind raced. 2 days to save an entire world. The magnitude of the task before them was staggering. They burst into what appeared to be a control center. Xylosians moved with frantic grace, their luminous companions pulsing with urgent energy as they interfaced with complex machinery. Zolfora approached, their usually melodious trills now sharp with distress. Dr. Alexei Volkov, who had been working on improving communication, translated as best he could. Captain, Alexei began, his face pale. They say the planet's core is awakening. No, that's not quite right. It's remembering. The translation is difficult, but I think they're saying the planet itself is some kind of ancient, dormant entity, and now it's waking up. Elena stared at him, momentarily speechless. The planet is alive? How is that even possible? Alexei shook his head, frustrated. I don't know. Their concepts are so alien, it's hard to. He was cut off as another violent tremor shook the building. Cracks appeared in the walls, and several Xylosians cried out in their musical language. We need to evacuate, Lieutenant Cortez said urgently. Captain, we should return to the horizon and get these people off-world while we still can. But Zalthora was shaking their head vehemently. Through a series of gestures and empathic pulses from their luminous, they conveyed that evacuation wasn't an option. The Xylosians were symbiotically linked to their world. Leaving would mean certain death for their entire species. Elena took a deep breath, centering herself amidst the chaos. Okay, she said, her voice firm. If we can't leave, then we fight. Alexei, work with the Xylosian scientists. I want to know everything about this living planet. Zhang, coordinate with our ship. I want every scrap of data we have on planetary sciences and geothermal energy. Cortez, you're on logistics. We need to secure our team and set up an emergency operations center. As her team sprang into action, Elena turned to Zalthora. We're going to need every bit of knowledge and technology you have, she said, meeting the alien's large, expressive eyes. Our species may be different, but right now, we're in this together. Zalthora trilled softly, a sound Elena had come to recognize as agreement. Their luminous extended a tendril, gently brushing against Elena's hand. In that touch, Elena felt a wave of gratitude and hope. The next few hours were a blur of activity. Humans and Xylosians worked side by side, breaking through language barriers through sheer determination and the empathic abilities of the luminous. Alexei's voice crackled over the comm, excitement breaking through his exhaustion. Captain, I think we've made a breakthrough. The planet isn't just alive, it's like a massive computer. The core is some kind of ancient, organic supercomputer that's been dormant for millions of years. Elena frowned. A computer. What's it computing? That's just it, Alexei continued. We think it's been running some kind of long-term simulation or prediction model, something to do with the future of the galaxy itself. But the process is complete, and now it's trying to reboot, for lack of a better term. The seismic activity is a side effect of this massive system coming back online. Can we stop it? Elena asked, hope rising in her chest. There was a pause. Not exactly, Alexei said slowly, but the Xylosians think we might be able to guide the reboot, channel the energy in a way that won't tear the planet apart. But Captain, it's going to take everything we've got. And I mean everything. Elena looked around the room, seeing determination in the faces of both her human crew and their alien allies. Tell me what you need, Doctor. The plan that emerged was audacious, combining cutting-edge human technology with the Xylosians' advanced understanding of their living world. They would use the Horizon's powerful engines in conjunction with Xylosian energy-focusing technology to create a planetary-scale containment field. This would channel the massive energies of the reawakening core, preventing catastrophic quakes and allowing for a controlled reboot of the living planet. But there was a catch. The containment field would require constant adjustment, reacting to the fluctuating energies of the core, and the only way to achieve the necessary precision was through direct neural interface, a melding of human, Zylosian, and luminous minds with the planetary eye itself. "It's our only chance," Alexei explained, his eyes bright with a mix of fear and excitement. "But whoever interfaces will be at ground zero. The psychic feedback alone could be, well, I don't know what it could do." Elena straightened her shoulders, decision already made. "I'll do it." "Captain, no," Cortez protested. "It's too dangerous. Let me." "Not up for debate, Lieutenant," Elena said firmly. "I'm not ordering anyone to take this risk. It has to be me." As preparations were made, Elena found a quiet moment with Zolthora. The alien leader regarded her with what she could only interpret as deep respect. "I guess this is it," Elena said softly. "No matter what happens, I want you to know that meeting you, learning about your people, it's been the greatest honor of my life." Zolthora trilled softly, their luminous glowing with warmth. They reached out, gently touching Elena's face in a gesture that needed no translation. As Elena was led to the interface chamber, the ground shaking beneath her feet, she felt a strange calm settle over her. Whatever happened next, two species that had been alone in the cosmos had found each other, and together they would face the unknown. The chamber doors closed behind her, and Elena stepped forward to meet her destiny and perhaps save a world. Unexpected alliance. The interface chamber was a symphony of alien technology and hastily integrated human components. At its center stood a raised platform surrounded by pulsating energy fields. Elena took a deep breath as she stepped onto it, her heart racing with a mixture of fear and determination. Zolthora and Alexei stood at the chamber's edge, making final adjustments to the equipment. The alien's luminous companion swirled with agitated energy, mirroring the tension in the room. "Remember, Captain," Alexei said, his voice tight with worry, "once the interface begins, you'll be connected not just to the planet's core, but to the Zylosian collective consciousness. The stream of information will be intense. Try to focus on the containment field. Guide the energy, don't let it overwhelm you." Elena nodded, forcing a smile. "I've got this, Doctor. Just make sure that containment field holds." As the final preparations were made, Elena closed her eyes, centering herself. She thought of Earth, of the horizon of her crew, of the incredible journey that had brought her to this moment, standing on an alien world, about to merge her consciousness with an ancient planetary eye to save an entire species. "We're ready," Alexei's voice came through the comm, initiating interface in 3, 2, 1. The world exploded into light and sensation. Elena gasped as her mind expanded, connecting with the vast network of Zylosian consciousness. She felt the fear and hope of an entire species, their thoughts and emotions washing over her like a tidal wave. And then she touched the mind of the planet itself. It was vast beyond comprehension, a swirling vortex of data and awareness that spanned millions of years. Elena's consciousness was a mere mote in its vastness, threatening to be swept away in the torrent of information. But she held on, focusing on her mission. She could feel the massive energies building in the planet's core, threatening to tear the world apart. With a supreme effort of will, she began to guide those energies, shaping them, channeling them into the containment field. Outside the chamber, alarms blared as the planet shook. Alexei and Zolthora worked frantically, adjusting the field parameters as energy readings spiked off the charts. "The containment field is holding," Alexei reported, his fingers flying over the controls. "But barely. The energy output is beyond anything we anticipated." Zolthora trilled urgently, their luminous pulsing in time with the surging energies. Through their empathic link, they conveyed a desperate plan to Alexei. The scientist's eyes widened. That's insane. the risk. But another violent tremor cut off his protests. Cracks appeared in the chamber walls, and warning lights flashed red across every display. "We don't have a choice," Alexei muttered. He turned to the other Zalosians in the room. "Do it." In a coordinated move, the Zalosians stepped forward, their luminous companions detaching and moving towards the interface platform. They surrounded Elena, merging with the energy field, adding their collective consciousness to the interface. Inside the mental landscape, Elena felt the shift. The overwhelming torrent of data suddenly became manageable as the Zalosian minds joined with hers, helping to process and channel the vast energies. Together, they worked in perfect harmony, human ingenuity blending with Zalosian wisdom and the ancient knowledge of the planetary eye. They guided the surging energies, weaving them into complex patterns that strengthened rather than destroyed. Hours passed in the outside world, but for Elena it felt like both an eternity and a single moment. Gradually, the violent tremors subsided. The planet's core, rather than tearing itself apart, began to stabilize into a new configuration. Finally, with a last massive surge of energy that made the containment field flare like a newborn star, the process was complete. In the interface chamber, Elena gasped as the connection broke. She stumbled, her legs weak, but found herself supported by the gentle touch of luminous tendrils. The Zalosians surrounded her, their trills a chorus of joy and gratitude. Alexei rushed forward, his face a mix of exhaustion and elation. "Captain, you did it. The planet's stabilizing. The core has reconfigured itself. It's like nothing I've ever seen." Elena managed a weak smile. "We did it, Doctor. All of us together." As they helped her from the chamber, Elena saw the world through new eyes. The colors seemed brighter, the air charged with a vibrant energy she could almost taste. And there was something else, a sense of connection that lingered even after the interface had ended. Sulfura approached, their luminous glowing with a warm, pulsing light. Through a combination of gesture and empathic communication, they conveyed a profound message. The planet was not just saved, it was transformed. And in saving it, so too were the Zalosians and humans transformed. The planetary eye, now fully awake and integrated with Zalosian consciousness, had shared its vast knowledge. Glimpses of this knowledge flickered through Elena's mind. The history of the galaxy, the intricate web of life connecting all worlds, and tantalizing hints of what the future might hold. As humans and Zalosians emerged from their shelters to witness their reborn world, Elena realized that this was more than just a crisis averted. It was the dawn of a new era. Two species, once alone in the cosmos, had not only found each other, but had forged a bond deeper than anyone could have imagined. The true implications of what they had achieved were yet to be fully understood. But as Elena looked out over the alien landscape, now thrumming with new life and possibility, she knew that the adventure was only beginning. With the immediate danger past, it was time to explore this new reality they had created together. The next steps would be crucial, as humans and Zalosians navigated the complexities of their newfound connection and shared knowledge. Elena squared her shoulders, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. The universe, it seemed, had just become a much more wondrous and interconnected place. Turning point. In the days following the planetary crisis, a palpable sense of change hung in the air. The Zalosian city, once a marvel of alien architecture, had transformed into something even more extraordinary. Structures pulsed with new life, resonating with the reawakened planetary consciousness. The very ground beneath their feet seemed to hum with energy, a constant reminder of the profound shift that had occurred. Captain Elena Reyes stood on a balcony overlooking the city, her mind still reeling from the experiences of the past few days. Dr. Alexei Volkov joined her, his usual enthusiasm tempered by a look of deep contemplation. "It's remarkable, isn't it?" Alexei said softly. "We came here looking for new life, new civilizations. Instead, we've become part of something greater." Elena nodded, her gaze fixed on the horizon where crystal spires merged seamlessly with the purple sky. The question is, what do we do now? This goes beyond any first contact protocol we've ever established. The conversation was interrupted by the arrival of Zalthora, accompanied by a group of Xylosian elders. The aliens' luminous companions swirled with complex patterns, conveying a sense of urgency and importance. Through their improved communication methods, Zalthora explained that the planetary consciousness, which they now called the Nexus, had shared a vision of a galaxy teeming with life, all interconnected in ways they were only beginning to understand. But it also showed looming threats, cosmic events that could reshape or destroy entire civilizations. They're proposing an alliance, Alexei translated, his eyes wide with excitement. Not just diplomatic, but a true merging of our species' knowledge and capabilities. Elena frowned, the implications racing through her mind. That's a lot to process. The potential benefits are enormous, but so are the risks. We're talking about fundamentally changing both our societies. Zalthora trilled softly, their luminous extending a tendril towards Elena. With permission, it made contact, and Elena gasped as a flood of images and emotions washed over her. She saw glimpses of possible futures, humans and Xylosians working together to unlock the secrets of the universe, to heal dying worlds, to bridge the gaps between distant civilizations. But she also saw the challenges, misunderstandings, fear, the potential for conflict as two very different species learned to coexist. As the connection faded, Elena took a deep breath, steadying herself. "We need to approach this carefully," she said. "This isn't a decision I can make alone. We need to consult with Earth, with the highest levels of our government." Alexei nodded, but his expression was troubled. "Captain, with all due respect, I'm not sure we have that luxury. The knowledge the Nexus has shared, some of these cosmic events it's predicting, they could happen within our lifetime. We might be the only ones in a position to prepare, to make a difference." Elena was about to respond when alarms blared throughout the city. Lieutenant Zheng's voice crackled over the comm, tight with urgency. "Captain, we're detecting a massive object entering the system. It's like nothing we've ever seen before." Racing to the control center, Elena and the others were confronted with a holographic display of the solar system. At its edge, a vast structure was appearing, defying all known laws of physics. It seemed to phase in and out of reality, its shape constantly shifting. "What is that thing?" Elena breathed, awe and fear battling in her voice. Zalthora stepped forward, their luminous pulsing rapidly. Through their enhanced communication, they conveyed a chilling message. This was one of the cosmic entities the Nexus had foreseen, a being of pure energy and consciousness, ancient beyond comprehension, and it was drawn to the newly awakened planetary mind of the Xylosian world. "It's not hostile," Alexei translated, his voice filled with wonder. "At least, not intentionally, but its very presence could tear this solar system apart. The gravitational distortions alone." Elena's mind raced. This was it, the moment that would define not just this mission, but perhaps the future of both their species. They had the knowledge of the Nexus, the combined strengths of human and Xylosian technology. But would it be enough? "All right," Elena said, her voice steady despite the gravity of the situation. "We've faced the impossible before, and we've come through. We do this together." She turned to Zalthora and the Xylosian elders. "We accept your alliance, not just for now, but for whatever the future holds. Earth and Zaloria united." As the words left her mouth, Elena felt a shift in the air. The luminous beings pulsed with brilliant light, and a wave of energy swept through the control center. Displays flickered, reconfiguring to show new information, new possibilities. In that moment, the true potential of their alliance became clear. Human intuition and adaptability merged with Xylosian harmony and ancient wisdom. Ideas flowed freely, plans forming with astonishing speed. They would use the planetary nexus as a focal point, creating a network of energy fields to guide and communicate with the cosmic entity. The horizon would serve as a mobile amplifier, channeling the combined mental energies of humans and Xylosians. As they raced against time to implement their plan, Elena felt a profound sense of purpose. This was why they had come to the stars, not just to explore, but to connect, to grow, to face the unknown together. The cosmic entity loomed closer, reality warping around its vast form. But as humans and Xylosians worked in perfect harmony, a new force arose to meet it. A beacon of united consciousness reaching out across the void. The fate of two worlds, and perhaps the galaxy itself, hung in the balance. But in this crucible of crisis, a new power was being forged. A power born of understanding, of bridging differences, of finding strength in diversity. As the first tendrils of communication stretched out towards the cosmic visitor, Elena allowed herself a small smile. Whatever happened next, they would face it together. And in that unity, there was hope. New horizons. The cosmic entity hung in space, a swirling mass of energy and consciousness that defied comprehension. Yet, through the combined efforts of humans and Xylosians, a connection had been established. The horizon floated at the edge of the solar system, its systems pushed to the limit as it channeled the unified mental energies of two species. Captain Elena Reyes stood on the bridge, her hands gripping the console tightly as waves of alien thoughts washed over her. Through the neural interface, she could feel the presence of Zolthora and the other Xylosians, their minds intertwined with hers in a complex dance of consciousness. "We're maintaining the link," Dr. Alexei Volkov reported, his voice strained with concentration. "The entity is communicating. It's like nothing I've ever experienced." For what felt like hours, the delicate exchange continued. The cosmic being shared glimpses of realities beyond imagination, of the vast tapestry of spacetime that it navigated. In return, the united human Xylosian consciousness offered understanding, context, a grounding in the physical realm that the entity had long forgotten. Slowly, gradually, the Y entity began to shift its course. The gravitational distortions eased, the fabric of space smoothing out like ripples in a pond. "It's working," Lieutenant Zhang exclaimed, relief evident in his voice. "The entity is moving away from the system. We've done it." As the connection faded and the immediate danger passed, a profound silence fell over the bridge. The magnitude of what they had just accomplished began to sink in. Elena took a deep breath, steadying herself as the neural interface disengaged. She looked around at her crew, seeing the same mix of exhaustion and awe that she felt reflected in their faces. "Well done, everyone," she said softly. "I think we've just rewritten the book on first contact." In the days that followed, as the horizon made its way back to the Xylosian homeworld, the full implications of their encounter began to unfold. The knowledge shared by the cosmic entity, filtered through the lens of human and Xylosian understanding, opened up new avenues of scientific and philosophical inquiry. Alexei worked tirelessly with his Xylosian counterparts, piecing together the fragments of cosmic wisdom into coherent theories. "It's incredible," he explained during one of their daily briefings. "The entity existed in multiple dimensions simultaneously. Its perception of time, of cause and effect, it challenges everything we thought we knew about the universe." But it wasn't just scientific knowledge that had been gained. The deep mental connection forged during the crisis had left its mark on both species. Humans found themselves more attuned to the subtle harmonies of the universe, while Xylosians gained a new appreciation for individuality and adaptability. As they orbited the now stabilized Xylosian world, Elena faced her most challenging task yet, reporting back to Earth. How could she possibly convey the magnitude of what had transpired? The alliances formed, the knowledge gained, the fundamental shift in their understanding of reality itself. "We came seeking new life and new civilizations," she said into the comm, her voice steady despite the emotion behind her words. "What we found was a new understanding of life itself. The Xylosians aren't just allies, they're partners in a cosmic journey we're only beginning to comprehend." She went on to outline the proposed Deep Space Exploration Initiative, a joint human-Xylosian venture that would push the boundaries of known space. The horizon would be retrofitted with Xylosian technology, its crew a mix of both species. Their mission: to seek out other awakened worlds, to expand the network of cosmic consciousness that they now knew existed throughout the galaxy. As Elena finished her report, she braced herself for the response. Would Earth understand? Would they embrace this new reality or retreat in fear from the unknown? The reply, when it came, was simple. Proceed, Captain Reyes. You have full authority to establish formal relations with the Zolosians and to commence joint operations. The future of humanity lies among the stars, and we face it together with our new allies. With Earth's blessing secured, the real work began. The horizon underwent a dramatic transformation, Zolosian biotechnology seamlessly integrating with human engineering. The ship that emerged was unlike anything either species had created before, a true fusion of two civilizations. As the day of departure approached, Elena stood in the newly redesigned observation lounge, gazing out at the Zolosian world below. Zolthora joined her, their luminous companion swirling in patterns that Elena could now read as excitement and anticipation. I never imagined this is where we'd end up when we first landed on your world, Elena said, a smile playing on her lips. Zolthora trilled softly, the sound now as familiar to Elena as human laughter. Through their enhanced communication, they shared a sense of wonder at the journey ahead. The ship's intercom crackled to life. Captain, we're ready for departure. All systems a go. Elena took a deep breath, savoring the moment. She turned to Zolthora, extending her hand in a gesture that bridged their two cultures. Shall we? As human and Zolosian walked side by side to the bridge, Elena felt a profound sense of rightness. This was more than just a new chapter for their species. It was the beginning of a cosmic odyssey, a journey into the unknown guided by the combined wisdom and courage of two worlds. The horizon lifted off, its new hybrid systems humming with power. As they broke orbit and set course for the depths of uncharted space, Elena gave the order that would echo through history. Let's see what's out there, together. The stars stretched before them, infinite in their possibility. Humanity had taken its first true steps into the cosmic community, hand in hand with allies they never could have imagined. The adventure was just beginning, and the universe would never be the same.